ran into a pole, went tumbling. Long story short, I did not finish my mile. Love trumps all, okay? Love will make you do some crazy things. Of course, your girl doesn't really like to work. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to go back to be a stay-at-home mom. I was just waiting for you to sit down with me so we can have a good chit chat. Hey beautiful, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. My name is Morgan J, and this channel is going to be your safe space to grow into your best self through faith, style, confidence, and a little bit of flair. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come join the family. We would love to have you. You know how this thing goes. Go ahead and grab your favorite drink. Grab your favorite skincare. Let's have a seat. And we are going to do a facial together. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of facts about me. My skin needs a good detoxifying facial mask. So that is what we're going to use. And we're just going to get to know each other. Now, this isn't one-sided. I'm telling you facts about me. And I need you to drop something interesting about yourself in the comments. Whatever you feel like sharing, whether it's where you're from, what you do for a living, one of your best kept secrets of how you maintain beautiful skin, whatever that is to you, go ahead and leave a comment. I cannot wait to hear. I cannot wait to get to know you and for you to get to know me. First, we're going to start with our cleanser. Let me take this off. Take off this necklace. As you can hear from the beginning of my videos, my name is Morgan J, and the J stands for Johnson. That is my last name. I am a wife and a mother of 2 kids. I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 9, almost 10-year-old son. That is so crazy to say. Both of my kids will be in double digits this year, and I am sick about it. It's like I'm so happy that they're growing up, but I'm also so sad because it's like, wow, for real, for real. When they get in double digits, no, I mean, I shouldn't be baby talking my son anyway, but you know, I hit him with a, oh, sweetie, every now and again, but baby 10, no, ma'am. You're grown. No, I'm just kidding. But he's just a little too old for me to be talking the way that I do. So that's going to be an interesting transitional season for me. Like I said, I am a wife. I've been married to my husband for 13 years. In August, it will be 14. I know, I look too young to be married for 14 years, huh? I got married when I was 20, he was 21, and we actually had a 3-week planning shotgun wedding that turned out to be so beautiful. If I could find any pictures, I will pop them up here. But yeah, it was a shotgun wedding. I have actually known my husband since I was 15. No, how old was I? 14 years old. I was in 8th grade. He was in 9th grade. I met him in youth group. He was a for real church kid. So that's how we met at church. I'll have to tell y'all the story of how I approached him another time, but it was real messy. Yeah, it has been a blast. Like, I truly love my husband. That is my BFF, best friend for life, forever. Okay? We rocking forever. So that's that. I'm going to go wash this off and I will BRB. I mean, I'll always dry my skin off with a paper towel just to keep the bacteria to a minimum. Now, I know a lot of people like those clean skin club towels. I don't know. I'm just not spending my money on it because I don't want to. So I feel like a paper towel, a good paper towel works just fine. You know what the best paper towels are? Those Vivo towels. Oh my gosh, they're so soft and they're just a dream for the skin. Again, now since we've cleansed, we are going to go in with our charcoal detox mask by Butter Skin. Okay, so I told you I was a mom. I told you I was a wife, and I am from a small town. Well, I guess you would call it a medium-sized town in Texas. So I'm a true born and raised Texas girl. Now, I'm not like diehard Texan, but I am from Texas, and I still currently live in Texas. I'm a Texas girl, born and raised. I initially went to college. Well, let me tell you my age. I'm 33, because I don't mind telling people. And I initially went to college for fashion. I went to UNT University. That did not work out. I will say I had a little bit too much fun. And my nanny was like, girl, if you don't get your butt back here and get some sense, okay, you will not be going back. So my sophomore year in college, I did not get to go back. I was in school for fashion journalism. I swore that I was going to work at the next biggest magazine, work my way up and be editor-in-chief. I was going to live in New York and be a single lady on the prowl. Okay, that was my hopes and big dreams of doing that. And yeah, that didn't work out. So I got sent home, and then I just worked. And once it was time for me to go back to school, I had got back with my now husband, which was then boyfriend. And then I got pregnant. That's another story for another day. So there was none of that. So I knew I needed to do something. And I knew that the next best thing from fashion was to go into the beauty industry, because I loved all things beauty, fashion, lifestyle, all of that. And I then decided to go to beauty school. I went to beauty school initially to do makeup, but because I'm from a smaller town, they didn't have that type of program. So I just went for cosmetology. I ended up going to this makeup school in Houston for a weekend. And then from there, I became a makeup artist. Graduated cosmetology school. I immediately rented a chair. You know, I was very ambitious. And I started doing hair. And then one day I was on YouTube and I seen that all the makeup people that I loved so much and aspired to be like as a makeup artist, they worked at MAC at one point in their life. So I remember telling myself, girl, you are going to get that job at MAC. I made sure I looked very good. I studied on how people got their job. I walked into MAC. My nails were done so pretty. This girl came to help me. Liza, shout out to you. And then she asked me about my nails. I gave her the details. I asked her if they were hiring. And then she went to go get her manager. And they literally scheduled me an interview. After that, I just studied and studied and studied. Nailed my interview. I was a MAC girl. And you couldn't tell me anything. Okay, at that time I had one child. So I was like, okay, I could still, you know, be backstage doing MAC makeup on the runway. So I get to be by all the fashions that I aspire to be by. And it's just going to work out. And little did I know, I was going to get pregnant. Okay, so those dreams kind of came crashing down. Got pregnant, worked at MAC literally until the day. Well, maybe the week until I was about to pop. After that, I went back one weekend to work. And that dream was short-lived. But I built so many good connections that I was able to build a freelancing business based on the clients that had already come in there. And based on my friends, they would always hand me jobs every now and again when they couldn't do it. So then I built a clientele for freelancing makeup, which was a really good side job, side hustle. It just worked out for me. God worked it out. And then we moved to Dallas. So there's that. Fun fact is I've probably started 5 or so businesses My most successful one was a freelance makeup artist because I was able to do that for years and sustain it. Now, I couldn't do it full time. I hadn't got to that level, but I was still able to sustain it. And out of all of my jobs, that was my favorite job to date. I have started a business with makeup, hair. I used to make bow ties. I used to make bow ties. That was still so funny to me. I used to make bow ties for the people at the church. Okay, the men to be exact, at the church. So that is so funny to me. Hold on. I've done some MML, what is it called? Mid-level marketing mess. Child, I have pretty much tried a lot of things. So I have 3 sets of parents, so 6 total. Of course, a biological mom and dad. And then I was taken in, fostered, adopted really, because once they took us in and we left to go back with our mom, we never left them. They couldn't get rid of us and they love us. And that will be my nanny, my aunt, and then my Cece and my Uncle Mike. I had the privilege, now I see it as a privilege, of growing up in a multicultural, multi-family unit style of living. It was interesting at the time, and I don't think I was as grateful as I am now to have just all these intricate pieces, you know, intertwining in my life. On top of that, I was also raised by my beautiful grandmother. So I guess 7 grown-ups raised me. Well, 8. We won't count that 8 one, you know. But about 7. And my grandma, she was Jamaican, so I am a Caribbean gal. I was just poured into in so many different ways and doing so many different things. I'm grateful. I'm gonna go ahead and do my neck because you're supposed to do everything to your neck. Another fun fact is I have pretty much tried out for every single sport. Or I've tried out for a ton of things, and the only thing that I've ever made was the 7th grade volleyball team. Now, I did make the 7th grade basketball team. Technically, didn't follow through with that one. I took tumbling, went to cheer camps, and tried out for cheerleading and did not make the squad. Oh, that was heartbreaking. Tried out for track, did not make the track team. What else did I do? Oh, I went back and tried out for volleyball my 9th grade year after I had went to a really nice volleyball camp at Texas Tech where you got to stay overnight. They teach you skills. That's a whole story. Okay, I went to go run my mile. I ran into a pole, went tumbling. Long story short, I did not finish my mile. I didn't really have a chance on making the team anyway, so I'm not even going to lie and act like if I would have hit that mile, I would have made the team, baby. I would have not made the team. Yeah, you could just call me Mrs. Try a Lot, Mrs. Try It Out, Mrs. Do It and Fail. This year, I'm trying to adopt my old self and bring her into 2026 because I need to be more risk-taking, more adventurous, more, I don't care, I'm gonna try it. If I fail, I'm gonna laugh at myself later on down the road. If I'm being honest, that has not been me, and that has not been me for a very long time. I feel like as soon as I had my daughter, it was like go time, like buckle up for the ride. Like you can't be taking risks, you can't take detours, like keep driving the car, drive straight, keep going. And I don't like the result. So my pastor has this saying, or he preached a sermon, if you don't like the picture, change the pattern. And I had to come to terms with myself in 2025 of like, I don't like this picture, so I'm going to change the pattern. Sure, I'm like, I'm going all in. I'm going full throttle. And if I fail, and who's ever watching me see me fail, I hope it inspires them to keep going. Because what is life if you never take risk? What is life if you're so conscious about everything and what people say and how things make, if you're so driven by how things make you feel, like what is that life? It's not a life. Don't live life just to make it. Like, live life to thrive. Go after the things you want to go after, because I used to be adventurous. There was pretty much nothing that I wouldn't try. I want to be more adventurous and do. Okay, this mask, I want you to get a close up. Crusty, crusty, crusty. Another thing about me is I have been walking with God for 14 years. I gave my life to Christ in around November of 2012. Never looked back, to be honest, which was astonishing for me because I wasn't the best with commitment, but God made it work. And that is another reason why I didn't end up going back to college, because I knew if I was going to go back to college, I was going to backslide, because I just knew myself. There's no way that I wasn't going to go out there and go back and do the same thing. I had the same friends that I loved so much that I actually, some of them I still talk to this day. But I knew that was my personality there. I was a party girl. I wanted to have all the friends and do all the things that were not godly. And in order for me to commit and stay committed, I knew that I couldn't go back. And of course, God made it pretty easy. Fell in love. So, love trumps all. Okay. Love will make you do some crazy things. I would say that it all worked out for my good. So I would consider it a good thing. And my life turned out this way. So I'm gonna go wash this off and BRB. Okay, we're back. All right, clean face. Oh my gosh, where did we leave off? I already told you I was a mom. Is another thing. Speaking of control, I can be a bit of a control freak, which is so surprising when I tell people that. Because they, see the really fun Morgan and the Morgan who's cracking jokes. But yeah, I can be a bit of a control freak sometimes. Okay, next we're going to go in with the Heritage. There we go again. The camera don't want to focus. Heritage Rose Water and Glycerin Hydrating Spray. I'm super duper ashy and pale. Need to be in somebody's sun. Whew, okay, I like to drench my skin with that. What else? This is supposed to be a good get to know me, and now I have ran out of questions. Oh, question. How long have I been making content? So, fun fact, I was going through my Yahoo email, which is an email I've had for the longest time. And I actually started making content back in 2011. After I took my senior pictures, I was on a blogging site called Chictopia. Shout out to you, Chictopia. You was holding it down for the fashionistas back in the day. And I made a few posts on there, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about it. It was just on my outfits, and that didn't go anywhere. So then I ended up taking some time away, not really thinking about it. When I was in beauty school, I used to post a little bit. So that was 2014, 2015, took a hiatus. Then I came back the end of 2017 into 2018, and I was a blogger. On my blog, I really just talked about faith and fashion, just those two subjects. I would do these cute little breakdowns of Bible stories. Just do a post, and then I would incorporate God, which it was actually very much like faith and facials, but not video form writing. So I enjoyed that. I did that up until 2021. Then I took a hiatus. I was posting on Instagram every now and again, which Instagram is not my favorite. And then I've always wanted to do YouTube. I just was scared. And one point I didn't like my voice. Which, now that I think about it, is so crazy. The thing that helped me like my voice was Number one, God. Number two, I had this therapist, and she couldn't for the life of her understand why I didn't like my own voice. So she would send me this lady on YouTube who literally had like 1 million subscribers, and her voice, no offense to you, I can't remember your name. Her voice sounded like chalk, like, what's it called? Nails on a chalkboard. And she was like, you letting your voice, the thought of your own voice, stop you? And look at this, crazy. So that woke me up. And it still took 3 more years after that, because she showed me that video 2019. Oh, whoa, that took 4 years. Yeah. So 5. Wow, that took 5. She showed me that video in 2019. That took 5. So yeah, I went to therapy twice in my life. I'm currently trying to get back into therapy. So we'll see how that goes. I don't have any goals for the year just yet, but I do have a word, and my word is to be intentional. My thinking is, if I am intentional with all that I do, then I will see progress in some way. Now, I do believe that I do need to set a goal or two. I am very results driven. That will help to keep me focused, because your girl for real has ADHD. My therapist actually diagnosed me. I'm not one of those who self-diagnose. I just have never wanted to get on medicine. The older I get, though, the more that I'm like, girl, you need to reel it all the way in. I also have been a working mom, a work from home mom, and a stay-at-home mom. Out of the 3 jobs, I would love to go back to be a stay-at-home mom. The problem is, if my husband watched this, he would probably laugh like, girl, you whined and cried to be a working mom again. And honestly, I think it was because I had tied so much of my worth to what I could produce outside of the home instead of realizing what I'm producing inside of the home. That was my downfall. And if I could go back, I would change that. I would be more appreciative of where I was, and I would understand that I am raising kids who can go out there and be great and can do marvelous things because God has put it in them, and that it is ministry in the house. Of course, your girl doesn't really like to work. I'm not gonna lie. I like to work at things that I like, and most of the time it is not what I do in my job. But you know what? We're not going to talk about that, because we are blessed whether we like where we work, what we do for a living or not. God has blessed it. And I'm just trying to stay positive in 2026, because that's where I am. Okay. Until God places me somewhere else, tells me to go do this or that. That's where we are. So that's what we're doing. So I work in office 8 to 5. And that is another reason why I started my channel, is because I knew that I needed a hobby, because that cubicle was starting to close in. Y'all, this is my first job where I worked in an office 8 to 5 with a cubicle. Now, I will say God did his big one in the department of my coworkers. Love them. There are a few of my coworkers that I really, really, really love and enjoy. And they keep me laughing, and they keep me coming back every day. This is my precious baby. She's basically out. I don't even think I have a drop left. This is my second bottle. This is the Medic 8 liquid lipids, 30% complex of hydrating peptide serum. This is my favorite. I feel like it helps with your pores. It plumps the skin. It helps with my texture. I tend to have really bad texture right here, and I don't have any. So there's that. My skin has been under attack. So we're not actually going to use these products, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. Here's the Abaji PM number 5. This is for skin brightening. I usually use this for my melasma, as well as this dark mark. And I don't know if you can see my melasma, But I usually like to use this. I haven't, let me be honest with you. I haven't really seen a difference, so we'll see. We're going to keep using it. And then also another Medic 8 product, Medic 8 Crystal Retinol number 6. Now, this, she a little spicy. She's a lot. And I probably should have started with the 3, but I was using retinol and it said that if you're already using retinol, you can go up to a 6. My skin is too sensitive. So here's what I've been doing. And it's been working out for me. After I do the rose water, I just do this healing ointment. Now this is the Equate brand, but it's Aquaphor healing ointment. It works wonders. It doesn't clog my pores. And it just allows my skin to just get what it needs. And it's wintertime, so I could do this. I have very oily skin. So in the summer, spring, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. And I mean no way. I will break out because it will clog my pores, not because it itself will break me out. But I just slather this stuff on my skin and it feels so soft. Now, I will say one thing about this is it leaves me like a greased up glazed donut for work. So I do like that. I get compliments on having my greasy skin. So remember, do everything to the neck and the chest. I don't know how I left this out. I am a middle child, middle sister to be exact. Now, my dad has 7 kids, which I am in the middle of the 7. I am number... So it's 3 ahead of me, 3 behind me. 2 baby sisters under me and a brother. And then I have 3 siblings above me. So I am the middle child of 7 kids, but I did primarily grow up with my 2 sisters. Shout out to you 2, holding it down. Love my sisters. And we always joke and say we're trauma bonded because of our childhood, but I love them. Hopefully they love me too. And I am in the middle. I have a big sister and a little sister. So I've always grown up as the middle child. Okay. Now I always say there's 2 different kind of middle kids. Okay. One that's, rather be alone. That's more introverted. That is, a little more into themselves. Interesting in a way, if you pick up what I'm putting down. And then there's the other one who feels like they didn't get enough attention. So they just created their own attention and their own world and their own fun. And hence, I'll let you guess which one I am. So, yeah, born in October. I am a fall baby. Love that. And let me think of any more. I don't think I have any more fun facts, which sucks. I really wish that I had a cool party trick to show you. Like I could sing or anything like that, but I do not. Actually, I do have one party trick. My knees can go bend the other way. So I'm double jointed in my knees. So, like an elbow and then you like that. Basically, so the knee can. Anyway, I'll show you one day. So that is my cute little fun party trick. Oh, I am very funny. And I know my husband always says that if you are really funny, you don't go bragging that you're really funny. So therefore, I'm not that funny, but I don't care what he says. I find myself to be hilarious. And a lot of people will back me up on that. I am funny. Stay tuned for the laughs, the fun, the faith, the fashion, and the flair. I hope this video tells you a little bit about me. I know I didn't go into depth with a lot of stuff because this is new for me, being vulnerable and sharing and doing a get to know me, because I never even introduced myself to friends that I have in this way, or let alone strangers. So this is new for me. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to drop a comment so that I can get to know you too, whether it's something that you have used to elevate your skincare or a fun fact about you. Matter of fact, what is your party trick? Okay, leave that in the comments. Are you funny? Do you know how to tell a joke? Can you sing? Can you whistle? Like, what can you do that'll grab attention at a party? Okay, one of those girls who wants to stay at home, doesn't want to go to the party, but once I get in the party, we partying. Okay, so if you are that girl, go ahead and leave a comment down below because I would love to know. I would love to get to know you, and I hope you stick around. So go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss an upload. And always remember to do everything with love.